takes us. Good morning. Back in the captain's galley this morning for another chapter of the bread saga. I've been in here since 5:30 this morning, and now it's, I don't know, it might be 10 o'clock here. I'm going to bake 5 today. These are the first 4 out of the 5. I haven't put number 5 in the oven yet. I'm going to show you how I do it. It really makes a difference if you cover the bread when you put it in the oven, or you just put it on a cooking stone with nothing on it. This is what I've discovered. In this type of artisan bread, this is what you're looking for. You're looking for this to peel up, peel back like this. These are called ears in the artisan bread industry. And see how that opens up? This is a desired feature. It's what you want from this bread. But it either doesn't happen, or it certainly doesn't happen this well without a cover. When you put a cover on here, you get beautiful oven spring, which means it pops up. I'm going to show you what a piece of dough looks like before I put it in the oven. And then you see what it looks like when it's done. You know, it's as higher than my whole hand. I make this dough the night before. I put it in the proofing baskets, and I leave it in the refrigerator for 12 hours. And I only want this on the counter no more than 1 hour before it goes in the oven. It's perfectly fine to put this in the oven cold. It actually gives it a better oven spring, which is the initial rise of the dough when you put it in the hot oven. It's perfectly fine, and actually it gives you a better product when you put the dough in cold. If you leave it out on the counter and it starts proofing, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And very quickly you overproof the dough. And when you overproof the dough, it looks beautiful. I got this big inflated ball of dough, but when it goes in the oven, it turns out a brick. The dough will be very compressed, very heavy, not good. These are nice. These are nice and light. These are perfect. Let me show you how I put these in the oven. All right. So I bought a new cast iron pan. You're going to see in a minute. It has a lower part and a higher part. They call it a combination Dutch oven. They also have a thing called a cloche or clocher, which is French for hat. It's the same thing, but if it says it's a cloche, it costs you 5 times as much money. 5 times as much money. So I'm going to show you how I put one in the oven. You always want to preheat your cast iron pot, which we've done. This pot is like 500 degrees right now. Very hot. Hotter than these gloves can stand, really. So then, we're going to put some cornmeal in here. Cornmeal seems to be the best thing if you're going to bake bread. Flour just burns too quickly. And this works out very well, and it won't burn as fast. So today I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try putting a design on top of the loaf. I never did this before. This is a flower. So I'm going to try this for the first time and see how it goes. It's going to paint this loaf. I'm actually going to paint it all over with water. That helps the crust. It actually makes the crust blister. Another good trait. All right, so I have this little stencil that I'm going to put right on top. And then we're just going to sprinkle some white flour on here to fill in the stencil. Oh, I might have just messed up when I let go of it. But we're going to try. Yeah, came out good. All right, now the other thing you got to do, be careful you don't burn yourself, honey. The other thing you got to do is you got to score these loaves. We score them with a razor blade. We score them for a couple of reasons. You want to let the steam out, and you want to give it room to expand. As soon as this hits that hot oven, you're going to get that what we call oven spring, and this is going to pop up and it's going to expand, and it needs a place to go. So this is called a pizza peel, this piece of wood, and we just slide this guy right off into there. And then you got to make sure you don't reach for that cover, because you won't hold on to it very long. Then we take this preheated cover and just put it right on there. Now, my oven is at 500 degrees, probably about 450. We're going to cook it with the cover on for 30 minutes. And when I take that cover off, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. The ears will be all peeled back, and it'll be a nice golden brown. 5 to 8 more minutes. We'll caramelize it like those 4 loaves. You'll caramelize that outside layer of flour, and you'll have a nice golden, very beautiful loaf. So if you've thought about making bread, but for whatever reason you didn't, give it a try. It's very easy. It's a nice hobby. You'll like it. See me on the next one. Bye-bye.